Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I'll say welcome to the stream a few more times. No, I'm good. Welcome. Hello. It's Saturday night. Hope everyone's doing great. At least Saturday night from when I'm streaming. I believe this is going to go up on YouTube officially. Tuesday, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, one of those. It's finally time. We have much to talk about here, a lot of preamble here before we officially launch the game. So let's get right into it. Yes, starting Higurashi here. I should say a lot of stuff because there's a good chance. I mean, there's a chance someone runs into the stream, someone runs into the VODs on YouTube that obviously don't know anything. Not like you don't know anything, but you don't know who I am, don't know what I've done. So last year, we started the long adventure of Umineko. The first question might be, why did you do Umineko first? That is a really good question. I don't have a really great answer, so I'm not gonna try to give you one. Other than, I don't know, in just my sphere, I'd heard more about Umineko, and I wasn't 100% sure I was gonna like it, so I just thought I'd go with the one I've heard more about before. And I think at the time I didn't even know that much about Higurashi, Umineko, whatever. So we did Umineko last year. We streamed that all throughout last year, amongst other streams, obviously, I was doing. It took pretty much all of last year. I started around this time last year with Umineko, went all the way to December. It was a long series. I massively enjoyed it, not obviously without faults that I talked about sometimes throughout the series, but I still enjoyed it as an experience, right? Did all of Umineko. Did it all on stream. It's all on YouTube. If you happen to come here and you're like, you see this first episode of Higurashi, and then you're like, Umineko, or I reference Umineko, or I don't know what the hell was going to happen. That's there if you want to watch it. It's all there. Neatly organized on the YouTube page. I did all of Umineko, the questions arc, the answers arc. I did other little, different release arcs. I did some supplemental streams. I finished it. I did it all live, first reading. I read the whole thing. I had it voiced, I had it modded, I had it voiced. I let the voice play out. I would read after it. It lengthened the series dramatically, but obviously that's the only way I know how to do things. But it was a fun time. We saw the finale, saw the ending. I did a character tier list at the end that was uncontroversial and no one had any problems with. And yeah, like I said, it's all on YouTube. I think it's a long watch, obviously, but if you care to go through Umineko with me reading the whole thing, then it's there. I also played Golden Fantasia. I did all of Golden Fantasia's arcade stories, the fighting game, the Umineko fighting game. So that's all on YouTube as well, because I'm dedicated. And yeah, that was last year. And then when I was like, well, I'm not done streaming in general, and it only makes sense then, once we finish Umineko 1 year, to then the next year start Higurashi. So around this, like I said, around this time last year was Umineko. We're starting this now. This is going to be a long-ass playthrough. I'm going to do the same thing. So questions we're answering now. This is a big topic at the start of Umineko. I have the game modded here again. I'm going to let the voices, Japanese voice, play out. I'm going to read on top, or not on top of it, after it. It only makes sense for me, for my enjoyment, obviously. Some people obviously are like, I don't know why you do that or don't prefer that. I apologize. Then this isn't for you, I guess. To me, like I said, it's my enjoyment mostly. It sucks that I have to listen to my own voice necessarily. I don't think I have that great of reading voice or anything, but I work with what I've been given. It does lengthen the series technically because I'm reading it all, but it's whatever. I think if you were to watch the series, tabbed out or in the background, which I think a lot of people did do with Umineko, honestly. Anyone who actually watched the Umineko series. if you're watching it, it only makes sense then to have someone read the English if you're an English speaker. Like if I was to just power through it, I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I don't know anything else about Higurashi. I know very little things. Actually, I know some things as far as like I've seen things, but not like any spoilery things. The thing was, when I went to Umineko, I had literally like no idea what Umineko was. And now that I've played Umineko, I kind of feel like I should know what to expect a bit more out of like Higurashi and have this second journey through a When They Cry game. But other than that, I don't know any spoilers. I know what I just said made it sound like I know spoilers. I meant what I've seen things. I've seen character art sometimes. Some character arts, obviously. I had to download the game, so I already said this. I already mentioned this. I told you this was going to be a long preamble. I've modded them. I've got the mods on here. I even downloaded another copy of, I think I was supposed to do chapter 4. Did the console arc mod to that. That's going to be tucked away. I think, this is something I want answered. If someone, at some point, I assume I'm going to start with chapter 1 here tonight. But beyond that, I don't know what order to do chapters, the different arcs, the console arcs that I got downloaded. When I bought the bundle on Steam, I got something called Plus. It's just, everything is chapters 1 through 8. And then there's Rei or something, REI. And then there's just HOU Plus. And I don't know what that is. But it's separate from all the chapters 1 through 8. So I assume I don't start with that. But like I said, beyond starting chapter 1, I don't know what order. So, and every time I Google it, I get answers that don't pertain to me. So, to be fair, I'm really bad at sticking with finding out answers online sometimes. So, what else should I say here before I officially launch the game? Obviously, if all that I said previously, last 7 minutes or so, sounds like your cup of tea, then I'm sorry. There's, I'm sure, better and more tailored let's reads / plays of Higurashi out there for you on the internet. So, and mostly it's supposed to be a chill time, honestly. I mean, that's my stream in general. I hate to just talk about my stream like that and give it such a general describing term there, but yeah. The only other thing I'll say before I launch it here is and I like to think both live viewers on Twitch and the VOD watchers, the archivers on YouTube. I think my audience, I hate calling people audience. I think the chats, the members, the listeners, the watchers, the readers that watch my videos, at the top of the class, top marks, brightest bulbs in the bunch. So I don't think I feel like I need to say this, but I will say it anyway here at the start, especially when it pertains to YouTube stuff. I would really, really appreciate it, both live and on YouTube, that you don't do obvious spoilers or hint towards spoilers or anything. It'll make, obviously, my experience better, and anyone who may be potentially, because I know I personally know people that will be watching this live or archived for the first time experiencing Higurashi with me. So, spoilers, obviously bad. Hinting towards spoilers, also just as bad. The main thing I'll say about this is, especially in like YouTube comments, especially if you haven't tuned into anything else I've done, streamed, and then put up on YouTube as past archive streams or whatever, I genuinely enjoy reading comments left on the YouTube streams, and I reply to ones that make sense to reply to. I like reading people's ideas or thoughts or whatever, or questions even, whatever. If people start spoiling shit or hinting towards spoilers in the comment section, then that only leaves me with two options. Is one, disabling comments on videos, which I really, really don't want to do. Or two, more likely what would be the outcome, is me just ignoring the comments, which I don't want to do because that's not fun for me. Because I like a potential, back and forth or questions or thoughts or whatever in the YouTube comments, as hopeful as that sounds of me, that's me hoping for the best. But if it's just people spoiling shit or potentially spoiling shit or verging on spoiling shit, then I have no real other option than to just ignore it, to not have my experience ruined. And like I said, other people who might be watching for the first time or reading Higurashi with me for the first time, like, just don't be an asshole. Very basic stuff. All right, let's launch it. Like I said, Umineko all last year. I'm genuinely curious which, when all is said and done, we finish Higurashi, which one I like more, Umineko or Higurashi, because the only, like I said, I don't know much, but I was informed, or maybe I gleaned this from researching, that like Higurashi here, when they cry, is more like suspense, horror-y, mystery stuff, whereas Umineko was what it was. I'm also, obviously, I know Higurashi came before Umineko. I'm curious to see if Umineko was more convoluted because it came after, and they were like, they knew what they were doing, and then it's like, I don't know if that point makes any sense, but I'm clicking play. Also, I might have to get this set up, so one sec. Because I think I had to do a certain thing. Because I did this before, so let me... By this, I mean I had to do this for both the questions arc and the answers arc. I have to display it a certain way, I'm pretty sure. Also, I want to display it a certain way. So let me... I know you just have to listen to my voice just a bit more. It's so upsetting. I just have to figure out how the best way I want to do it is. Especially if, I'll type this. Oh, I maybe got it. Let's see. There it is. It's tiny though. There's a reason that's not what I want to do. You would think that I'm like using like OBS for like the first time in my life sometimes, you know? Higurashi, let's go. That's basically my attitude. All right, well, I might fix this in a sec. I might be able to fix this in a sec. Let me see this. What happens when I do this? Oh, yeah, okay. Because I can full screen this, I think, once I get in there. Actually, can't I full screen? It might take me getting into the actual menus. What does it say? The patch supports different background music and sound effects. Please check the button below for more information. Great. To continue, please choose a background music or sound effects option below. Oh, they've got the FAQ. Hover button for info. You can change the option later. Use a new background music and sound effects introduced by Manga Gamer. Or the option uses GIN's background music. Closer, but definitely not identical to the original Japanese release. Do we have a preference? Should I pick? This option was... Oh, and then there's like a third option. This option replaces 16 background music with background music from the Higurashi HOU Plus demo. Remastered versions not available for chapters 5 through 8. Should I have clicked the FAQ first? Should I have been a good person and read the FAQ first? April update. Games received a major update. This update changed the background music and sound effects. These changes were made. Mods. Why are the... okay. Oddities. Title screen sound. I don't know which one I should pick. Oh, hello. I've got like decision paralysis going on right now. I love the mods, but I also, you know, when you start giving me a million choices, I freeze, I panic. I mean, I can't pick a wrong thing, right? There's no wrong choice, I would assume, unless there is. Then you can yell at me. In the April, I should have done this beforehand. See, unprepared, bad streamer. April 2019, all the Higurashi games received a major update. Update changed the background music. Yes, I read that. Some were replaced with completely different. In some cases, duplicates replaced existing background music, resulting in less variation. Some background music had the audio clipping and distortion fixed. The game script was modified. For more information, we have a Google Doc which lists. So the mod is can fix the issue. Close but definitely not identical to the original Japanese release or pre-April update. You played on the manga gamer ones? If you want exactly the same as the original Japanese, we suggest you play the original Japanese release, as the mod cannot replicate that exactly. Okay. Well, this is going to be one of those things. If I pick a wrong choice in the comments, because I'm sure nothing but helpful comments once this goes up on YouTube. I assume I can change it once I've made a choice. I feel like people on the internet are always helpful. Never not helpful. All right, well, yeah. Let me know if I need to change it at some point. Please pick a language. It would be very funny if I picked that. Video opening might contain minor spoilers. Do you want to enable it anyway? Video opening might contain minor spoilers. Tricky. Why am I already like scared? I'm scared. Like it's like it's a different beast than Umineko, you know? Oh, that's not what I want. Oh. You guys can't see what I'm doing. You guys can't see. But it's fine. I think I'm gonna play it. I'm just trying to mess with if there's anything else here I wanna fuck around with. Skip unread text. Hide right click menu. Display confirmation. Character sprites. Console. Language. English. Do you want to enable it? Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's fine. Yeah, I think we should be fine. We'll be fine. No worries. No worries in my bones. Alright, so I was able to set it up so that I still have... Those are still there. Great. I hear cicadas. Sounds like cicadas, at least. The only other thing I don't, and I'm sure there's a solution to this. You guys, like I said, can't see it. But when I full screen it, like I want to, using this, it defaults to my primary screen, which I don't want. I want this on my secondary screen, but I also don't want it. This might actually work. Let me see this. Well, no, that's no good, actually. That's actually... It's very funny. You guys can't see what's happening behind the scenes. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm running through all of the different options to see. The normal fixes that I got. Again, someone tunes into this, they're like, have you ever used a computer before? Do you know what OBS is? Do you know how to work anything? And to that I say no. I was born yesterday. Oh yeah, the mod menu thing. Ah, see, it does it here too. Look at that. Alright, I'm gonna try one more thing. How was, oh, yeah. Balatro was cool. I'm excited to get more into that. It's just unfortunate. Oh, that's the other thing I should mention. Okay, so, going back to Higurashi and coming up here. No one's gonna hear this because if anyone's watching this on the VOD, they've, like, skipped ahead until they saw me actually load into the game. But, last year when I was doing Umineko, basically the cadence I had most of the year was a Saturday night stream and then like a Tuesday night stream, as I was also playing other things amongst the other days of the week. It might take a little bit of time for me to get into the same thing. I would like to do the same kind of schedule for Higurashi here. But for the next week after tonight, I'm going to spend most of the front of the week trying to finish up Yakuza Kiwami. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out on Thursday. And I am almost for sure going to be playing that then, like, Thursday and Friday. So the next time we play Higurashi is probably going to be next Saturday night. So a week. So, I just thought that would be something to mention. You know what? I'll just keep it like this. It doesn't matter to you guys. And maybe come next stream a week from tonight, I'll have a better system. What a nightmare, dude. Actually, you know what I'll do? Just for tonight. Even though I hate it, because I'm a creature of habit. I will do this on the primary screen. And I'll have OBS and everything on the primary. It just means chat is further away from me. So you guys could say the meanest of things and I might not see it as well. That's all. I have old man eyes. And so that's why I like OBS on the left side, my left monitor. Because when you're 73, like I am, when you're as old as I am, you start to lose vision. And mine was already bad when I was young too, so Bum, bum, bum man is actually good. All right. So yeah, we're gonna begin now. It's daunting. You know, I wasn't ready to like when I dived into Umineko last year. I wasn't like I don't think I was ready for what I was doing. Now that I've experienced Umineko, I'm like, shit. When I hit start, we're beginning this. Like I'm doing this all again. It's like a deep breath is needed. Oni. Okay. Oh, the other thing. There's also a chance you didn't watch the Umineko playthrough, so I need to say this. I read the whole thing, so I'm guaranteed to mispronounce a lot of things, both Japanese words and names, but also English words. I don't know how to read, so I'm trying my best. All right. I didn't give that I don't think I gave that I don't think I said that at the beginning of the Umineko playthrough, but once I got through the Umineko playthrough, I should have been like I should have just set expectation to just be like, "Hey, I only learned how to read like 5 days ago." So, if I mess up on words, blame it on the I don't know, American school system. Okay, so Onikakushi opening. Demoned Away chapter. Welcome to the world of Higurashi when they cry. With a red sea. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening, inviting you into this world. Sit back, relax, and enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. Starting off excellently. The difficulty... Oh, we got difficulties are back. Look, the difficulty for this chapter is extremely high. Ah, shit. I'm fucked. But I hope you'll enjoy the reward. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, the demoned away. Spirited away. I didn't like whatever that was. Please do, excuse me, do not deplore yourself. Even if the world does not forgive you, I'll forgive you. Please don't deplore yourself, even if you don't. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? What is this there at the bottom? What is this language? Huh? It's a mystery. It's a work of fiction. Oh, thank God. I thought it was real. 1983. I'll be adjusting audio as we move along here. As needed. Let's see. So, if I was going to be ripped apart anyways... Oh, fuck. That's not what I meant to do. It's all good. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways... Oh, can I not do the arrow keys? That's what I was trying to do. But I'd use the arrow keys in Umineko, and I love doing that. I'm about to have a panic attack. Don't make me use the fucking mouse. I'll try spacebar. If I hit spacebar, nothing happens, then I'm actually gonna cry. It's gonna be Austin when he cries. More like it. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways... Oh, but spacebar's so obnoxious. Do I need to hit it again? Oh! That's not... Spacebar... Spacebar does not advance the text. It just makes it... You can see the background, I guess. Alright, we're learning. We're learning. Do I really gotta go mouse? The game is gonna make me... Oh, wait. No, side worked there. Wait. Having my body... Let me try this again. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. Oh, do you think... You know what it probably is? I have to have the mouse in the window. Fine. I can do that. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. Typical Austin. Typical bum man. Took him 30 minutes to get into the fucking game. But I'm starting to realize. I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself. In such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion, because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why this pain? My eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Again, as always, if my audio or game audio needs to be boosted or something, let me know. But right now, it's just bug noises. I don't know how loud the bug noises actually need to be. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright just to take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her. Like flowers... I said that weird? Like flowers by a grave. I read that weird because I wanted to ask a question. So, pinging chat that's so far away from me. Have you guys read all of Higurashi then? I forget the status. Or if it was just Umineko. I know. We're making jokes about it, but it feels so weird to have chat just so far away from me. It feels bothersome. I read all the main chapters. I watched the Higurashi anime. Okay. Well, that's, if you stick with this whole playthrough, we should be reading all the chapters, main chapters, and the spin-off console arcs and chapters as well, in theory. I heard the anime for this is a lot better than the Umineko anime, so there's at least that. Anyway, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. What is that sound? That adorable smile brought me joy. Something is like being swung. I like petting your head. I loved how demure you were. There's blood. I think that was the second blood splatter. So I think I should have picked up earlier that something weird was happening. Something strange. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Bouquet. Perhaps I really did. There's a way to... I hate to disrupt. I know we're getting... Let me see something. Okay, I was just curious. I was checking something. Perhaps I really did. Love you. Ah. Opening movie? Hell yeah. Get hyped, as always. All these characters I will soon learn about. The hell? Wait! I just had some PTSD. Maybe I missaw it. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Oh, help it. Help it. Cool. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. I thought I saw a character that looked really familiar to another character we saw in Umineko, but it could just be, you know, similar character artists. Maybe I'm just panicking for no reason. You know, as I tend to do. Did I read this? It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. The skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads. The melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. It's trying to trip me up. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. Ah, the brooks that babble and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Who's got better cries? Cicadas or the seagulls? Honestly, I might have to give the seagulls. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. Cats? That wasn't an option. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. Not even vending machines. The absurdity. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. An ice cream parlor? No chance. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors where I used to live, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody's still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then it's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice.
Keiichi, そろそろ着くぞ.
Oh shit, first name. Keiichi. We're almost there.
起きなさい.
Wake up. Alright, we got our first voice dialogue, so I can adjust accordingly. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. But where's the mansion? Where's Rokenjima? I feel like we're missing like this, just an island. I have an island-shaped hole in my heart right now. I swear I'll keep bringing up like Umineko cross references. You don't know what you have until it's gone. Let me tell you that. Some light, not only regarding Umineko, but also just life lessons that I will impart to chat. The warmth that Rokenjima gave you, in its own strange and mysterious ways, that's gone. It's been ripped from me. It's out of here. Cast it aside. Is there magic in this game? That's a joke. That's a rhetorical question. Don't answer it because that might be a spoiler. Are there witches? Is there battler? Is there a battler equivalent? Am I gonna have to make new emotes for this game? Or can we carry over a few of the Umineko emotes that we had into this if they still make sense? The biggest question, is there a Maria equivalent? Exactly. Because if there's not because I typed it as a tag. Oh, shit. What? Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, I did that. Oh, scroll wheel. I fucked up. I was checking something else. I I still did the tag. We're still in the Maria hating zone. Let me go back. I missed this one. I need to stop fucking around. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, and I'm not going to mispronounce this, Hina Mizawa. Hina Mizawa. I'm sure I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, don't bother correcting me. What was the one name in Umineko that, like, I was like, I'm not going to change it. And then by the next stream, I changed it because of how bad it was. Oh, yeah. Well, the Lion and Leon one was more of a joke. What was the bodyguard's name again? God, how can I already forget him? What his name? Amakusa? I think it was. Yeah. I think I first started saying Amakusa, and then I was like, that. After saying it like a couple times in my head, I was like, that sounds really dumb. Amakusa. This is the boonies? I'm looking back at past chat. Is considered the boonies of 1980, whatever the year was? I don't know. I live in my own little bubble. Even though we are approaching summer. Oh, well, it's technically the boonies. Because they were saying there's no vending machines and shit, I guess. That's definitely is the thing that makes for the true symbol of how fancy the place you're living is. Ice cream parlors, vending machines. Even though we are approaching summer, morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side. Also, I feel bad for the opening, how slow we got off to starting this. I swear, I'll have this fixed for next stream. Like I said, next Saturday night. And then when we do the subsequent chapters, I'll make sure everything's loaded correctly so that we're off. This will be the only rough start we'll have to Higurashi. Fingers crossed, I swear. Anyway, the neighboring house is far away on the other side. I can't have my professional name being tarnished like this. So it's probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hina Mizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Oh, what is this music? Ah. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. Breaky. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a printer. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I never tell him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook. It was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today.
こっちに引っ越してきてから圭一が早起きになって嬉しいわね。
I'm so happy you've been working up early since we moved here. Kiechi? I'm trying. Also, we have not seen any character sprites yet. What's up with that, huh?
早起きしないと朝飯を食いそび
I
れ
did
るん
not
だ
think
よ。
about it too hard. And then I glance over at chat, which again, Must say, very far away. And it seemed like two different pronunciation helps. Keiichi? Again, I assume YouTube comments are gonna set me on the right path. Keiichi? Alright. We'll land on something. We'll settle on something at some point. And when I say we'll, I mean I will. And you'll just have to choose to accept it or not. If I don't get up early, I don't make it in time for your early breakfasts. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good.
ご飯はいっぱい？それとも半分くらいでいい？
Full bowl of rice? Or will half be enough?
山盛り。
Pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. I'm trying to... again, I don't mean to... I'm hoping I don't just continually compare this to Umineko as I'm playing. And let me know if it's annoying if I keep doing this. But I'm trying to look back at, like, opening of Umineko. It was the plain thing. We were introduced to a million characters at once. The character names flashed on screen. I made a joke, even though at the time I didn't know. I said, oh, it's Shannon and Cannon. I wonder if what was there. I forget exactly what I said. An interesting duo or pair or something. And then this, it's like, this kid's just having breakfast. It's much more chill. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile.
こっちに引っ越してきてから、圭一が朝食を欠かさないんで嬉しいわね。
I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here. Keiichi. I paused. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That's probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin.
そろそろレナちゃんと待ち合わせの時間じゃない？
Isn't it about time to meet up with Rina-chan?
急いで急いで。
Hurry, hurry. A lot of Rinas in video games that I'm playing recently. All spelled different ways. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rina is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But, well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rina wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door.
レナちゃんにお漬物ありがとうって伝えてね。
Please thank Rina-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more.
Ayo.
Morning. Have I been duped? Does this game just not have fucking... Did I disable it somehow? Character portraits? Sprites? Did I check a box to... Is there a reason we haven't seen them yet? Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-kun. Like, it would be extremely a me thing to do that I accidentally, like, ticked the box. I was like... I download a mod to get the console sprites, and then all of a sudden, like, I tick the box. That's like, just remove them from the page, and you're just gonna see backgrounds. Good morning! Oh. Just as I was saying it, her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself.
相変わらず早いな。
You're always so early.
たまにはのんびり朝寝坊したっていいんだぜ。
You should try sleeping in sometime.
お寝坊したら圭一君を待たせちゃうじゃない。
If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious. and such a good person.
そん時は置いてく。
If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind.
ケイチくん冷たい。
Yeah, we got. Oh, I didn't realize this earlier, but we have mouth movements. The immersion is so deep right now. In my visual novel. Ketchikun, you're so cold.
いつも待っててあげてるのに。
I wait for you all the time.
サクサク置いてく。
I'll leave you in the dust
キリキリ置いてく。
without looking back.
どうして冷たいんだろう。だろう。
Why are you so mean? Why? Rina had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed.
嘘。ちゃんと待ってるよ。
I'm kidding. I'd wait for you. With those words, Rina seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Also, I'm not gonna do a little girl voice. Like, I can't. I even had trouble with Maria during Umineko. To the point where I was like, anytime ooh was brought up, I felt weird.
レナが来るまでずーっと待ってる。
I'd wait forever until you came, Rina.
いつまでも。
No matter how long.
ずーっと。
Forever? Rina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease.
レナはロマンスものの文庫本は読んだことあるか？
Have you ever read a romance novel, Rina?
ないよ。読んだことない。
Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out.
そうそう。お袋から伝言。漬物サンキューでしたって。
Oh, yeah. Message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles.
どういたしまして。
It was nothing. You're welcome.
どうだった？
How were they?
しょっぱくなかったかな？
Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. I should point out this is where I try to spread my anti-pickles agenda. Pickles suck. It would have been fun to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright.
その前に聞きたい。
I'd like to ask something before that.
あの漬物を漬けたのはレナか？
Were you the one who pickled them, Rina?
レナのお母さんか？
Or was it your mom?
なんで聞くんだろう。
Huh? Huh? Why do you ask?
しょっぱかった？
Were they too salty? Yeah, they sucked, Rina. Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically.
レナか？レナのお母さんか？
Was it you, Rina? Or was it your mom?
なんで作った人聞くんだろう。だろう。
Why are you asking who made them? Why?
どっちが作ったかで感想が著しく変わる。
Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh? Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Well, at least he's self-aware. Just how fucking annoying he's being. Rina nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response.
レナだけど。
It was me. Also, I know that it was supposed to be like a tease, obviously there at the very start, where we're reading that thing and the blood and all that. But I'm just now curious, who is that? Who was saying that? Was it her? Was she killing someone? Was it the guy? Was it the mom before she was making breakfast?
うまかった。
Delicious. Huh?
前回に続きなかなかだったぜ。飯との相性は最高だった。
Pretty good. Just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rina never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. But me, I can do this. Keep at it, Rina. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Fucking... Fuck off, Ketchy. Or so I decided for myself. Sounds a bit like Battler. I was gonna be honest. I was curious. I was like, is Ketchy gonna be like the main pro tag of this series now? Is he the equivalent to Battler in this? But he does. He gives off that air. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Rina back to reality so we can make our way to school. The strange, easily flustered girl is Rina Ryugu. Sure. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Oh, we got dopey music?
Mi-chan, ohayo.
Does this have, Does this have, like, a thing, an equivalent in, Umineko, how it has, like, character bios and shit? Or was that too advanced for this? Oh, man, the opening to this stretches song? I thought it was going to be the Chocobo song for a while there. It sounded like a Chocobo song. I was about to... There's, like, 2 notes in a row that sounded like the opening to the Chocobo. Mi-chan, good morning! Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved.
Oh, kita kita. Osoi yo, 2人とも.
Ah, finally, you two are late. Usually, you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class.
Ohayo, Rena. そしてケイちゃん、お久しぶり.
Morning, Rina. And it's been a while, Kei-chan.
何年ぶりだっけ?
How many years?
2日しか休んでねえよ
I was only off 2 days.
そうだっけか?
You don't say.
前に会った時はあんなに可愛かったのにな.
You were such a cute little tyke the last time I saw you. Mion's gaze started at my chest, yeah? Then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Great. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. No comment? Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her.
そうだよ立派になったぞ
I've grown quite splendidly.
驚くぞ
You'd be surprised.
たくましくなっちゃった上にヒゲまで生やしちゃってさ.
Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now.
毎朝元気全開で大変なんだ
I love that we're starting early on, like, sentences in the game that Austin has to read out loud that he, looking back, will maybe regret saying once. Who knows? Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though.
今度見せてやるから挨拶してみろ
Relatable. I'll introduce you next time. No. So be sure to greet him properly. I hope we're just getting this out of the way. You know, we front load early, and we will never have to experience this later.
今度なんて言わないで今がいいな.
Don't say next time. Right now is just fine.
朝の新鮮な空気を吸わせてあげたら.
How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes.
よしわかった
Gotcha.
大公開だ
Time for the big reveal.
後悔するなよ
Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rina began to ramble in near panic.
ねえねえ、何の話?
Hey, what are you talking about?
何の
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about.
どうだった？
How was it?
久しぶりの都会はさ。
Seeing the city again. Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning.
葬式で行っただけだぜ。慌ただしいだけだったよ。
I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time.
でさ、探しといてくれた？
So yeah, did you look for it?
頼んどいたやつ。
That thing I asked for?
お前、人の話聞いてないだろ。
You're not listening at all.
俺は葬式で帰っただけだぜ。
I just came back from a funeral.
おもちゃ屋巡りをしてる余裕なんかなかったんだよ。
I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores.
ち。
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
おもちゃ屋とホビーショップは全然違うよ。
Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know.
特に洋物、こっちじゃなかなか手に入らないからね。
It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all.
みーちゃんまたゲームの話？
Is this about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled.
そう、ケイちゃんに洋芸のカタログを持ってきてもらいたかったんだけどね。
Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western imported games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky.
そんなのまた通販で取り寄せりゃいいじゃねえか。
You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you?
ま、そうするかな。
Well, guess I have to now.
またプレイングの熱いゲームを入荷するからね。
I'm going to get another game full of hot action. I'm like thinking back to like video games back in like, what was this, the 80s? Those were rough. I would, you know, looking back, you're like, damn, there was no hot action happening in any of those games.
今度は私にもわかりやすいゲームがいいな。
This time, I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Rena, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games.
俺にもわかりそうなゲームがあったらやらせてくれよ。
If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too.
いいよ。
Of course.
ケイちゃんさえ良ければね。でもうちらのレベルは高いよ。
If Kei-chan is up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough.
上等じゃねえか。
Just what I want.
俺だって遊び100番遅れを取るつもりはないぜ。
I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose.
わあ。
Wow.
じゃあ今度はケイチくんも仲間に加わるのかな。
Then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Now, if I know anything about, you know, like I said, experience in Umineko last year, Rena seems very sweet, very innocent. That means she's probably the most fucked up character in this story when all is said and done. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further.
男の子ってきっと外で遊ぶ方が好きだと思ってたからダメかと思ってたよ。
I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they'll have to try to make me feel welcome. Who am I comparing her to? I mean, Maria seems like the obvious choice, right? But Maria quickly shed the innocence tag. I think, just kind of like in general. Also, I want to say, I think the thing is, okay, so I know I said I was going to compare a lot to Umineko, but in the same breath, there's a high degree of chance, potentially, that someone's watching this that doesn't have the Umineko background. That now I've got the weird order in. So I'm going to try Now, if Umineko was truly the first, like, released first, then I would feel totally 100% fine with spoiler, like, talking about Umineko a shit ton. And maybe I'll do it. I don't think I should. I'll have to do it a ton. But, like, I'm gonna try at least early on here not to, like, give a shit ton of Umineko spoilers, like I was about to, sorta. But like I said, maybe that'll change as we progress. I was gonna say another character, but I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. I'm just trying to be considerate, you know? Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. Wow, that is tiny. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. It's like back to the fucking... It's like Pioneer days, right? I don't know what school systems you guys partook in. But when I was in grade school, where I lived, when I was taking grade school classes, the whole... Once you got to like... Oh, fuck. It was like 2nd or 3rd grade. You would learn about... It was like a whole course of like... Pioneer, like American pioneer days, and you would learn about how that whole thing was, and you would dress up like pioneers, American pioneers, and you would learn about the schools that were one room and were cold or something, and it was like it had a bunch of ages and shit in them, and I don't know, I'm going on a tangent, but this is what it reminds me of. Yeah, exactly. They had to rough it back then. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. See, my brain immediately, how this says, however, it seems something happened. Like, to me, that's like a vague warning or clue already. Should I be even, here's the thing. In Umineko, there were hints, there were things, should I equip the same brain I had for Umineko into this? Is there going to be things I should try to look for or solve? Is this a mystery? Should I just go in with the smoothest of brains? I'm very curious because to me, maybe unnecessarily, this feels like a warning flag. This is my siren is going off. It seems something happened that made it a single class. Oh, what happened? Huh? It's not as crazy as a mystery. Oh. There's going to be a certain section of YouTube comments that is going to be happy that it's not as crazy as a mystery. I genuinely think there's like... I know there was probably at least one person very upset with me in the YouTube comments that I was sometimes flippant about the mystery of Umineko, or that I wasn't solving things at the pace they wanted me to solve things, you know? And honestly, no shade to them. That's why I continually have to stress. I'm a very dumb person. What do I say? I'm the smartest dumb person, I hope you know. But hey, if it's not as crazy of a mystery, maybe this is good for me. So single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. In such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. I like her outfit. Is that a weird thing to say? I like the little vest thing. The red tie is nice. The long, I don't know how to describe clothing things. Long dressy skirt thing. Wait, did I read that? Right in front of the classroom door. Okay. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad. I was going to fall for that again.
ここで先頭を譲るとはな。
To think you'd give up the lead here.
お手並み拝見ってことかよ。
You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
どうしたの二人とも。
Oh, what is it, you guys?
下がってろレナ。危ないぞ。
Step back, Rina. It's dangerous.
やつだ。
She's here.
え
Huh?
じゃあ、さとこちゃんが
Then Satoko-chan is... Her name was Satoko... Satoko? Satoko? Hojo. Hojo from like Final Fantasy VII. Satoko Hojo. Sure. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this.
見え見えの罠だな。引き戸の上に挟んだ黒板消し。
Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door.
見え見えだぜ、サトコ。
It's too obvious. Satoko! A haughty laugh came from beyond the door.
お見事、ケイちゃん。こりゃ今回は勝負あったかな。
Excellent. Ki-chan. Ki. I guess that means you win this round. Question mark.
いや、相手はサトコだ。
No, this is Satoko we're talking about.
これだけとは思えない。
I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax.
見たところ、黒板消しは普通。
By the looks of it, this eraser is normal.
石とかは入れてないみたいだな。
No rocks or anything in it? I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day.
じゃあさ、ガラガラって開けて落としちゃえばいいんじゃないかな。
So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop?
それだ。
That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after. Make me focus my attention upward. So as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser.
見事なコンボだ、サトコ。
An impressive combination, Satoko.
だが、所詮はガキの浅知恵だったな。
But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. Boing! By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner.
ケイちゃん、避けて。
Ki-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body midair before I landed on the floor.
いっててって。
Look at that classroom. Ow. An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it.
あら、これは。
Not as mischievous looking of a little kid as I thought. My, what do we have here?
おはようございます、ケイチさん。朝から賑やかですわね。
A fair morning to you, Kechi-san. Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice.
一段とスペシャルなトラップワークになったじゃないか、サトコ。
I was a step up from your usual traps, Satoko.
私何のことかわかりませんもの。
I haven't the faintest idea what you mean.
朝からついてませんわね。
You're quite unlucky this morning.
てめえ。あいててててて。
You little... It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now. She already looked like extremely young, and then you put this like very like this might as well be a baby compared to we got a baby on the field. Yay, Rika-chan, good morning. Good morning to you, Rina. A good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. Bow. Not bow. I did the thing. It was infectious. Rina, Mion, and I all bowed back. Bowed. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Sakato. Oh, fuck me. Alright, so much better than Satoko. Sakato. New name for her, Sakato. I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. Now I fucked myself. I'm the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. And nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof? I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. If you won't say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forward flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half. Eek. Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan really is just so. How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Wah. It doesn't bother me. Wah. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting, yeah? Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Rina's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. Satoko-chan is crying.
かわいいよ
So cute.
持ち帰っちゃダメだからね
You can't take them home.
だってこんなにかわいいよ
But they're so cute.
どんなに可愛くてもダメなの
You can't, no matter how cute they are.
でもちょっとくらいならダメかなダメかな
But just for a bit is fine. It's fine. Rina kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rina is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person.
物もまずいが誘拐はもっとまずいぞ。
Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse.
諦めろ。
Give it up.
じゃあ見てるだけだよ
Then I can just look. Just looking.
それならいいよね
That should be fine, right? Right? Rina swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa... Always gotta slow down there. I'll be forced to turn Rina in to the authorities. Forgive me, Rina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
先生来たよ
The teacher's coming.
早く片付ける
Quickly, clean everything up.
さとこすずりあんたのでしょ
Satoko, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtack stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up. I understood. I understood what you meant.
間に合ったね
Ah, ha, ha, ha. We made it in time.
起立気をつけ
Rise! Attention! Mion gave out the morning commands. Say the Pledge of Allegiance. Do the things. That's what we had to do in the morning. Very dumb. Looking back at it. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. No, we had to face the flag in our classroom and then put our hand over our heart and recite a thing. And then for a while when I lived in Texas as a kid, we did the pledge to the American flag, and then we'd turn to like a separate section of the room and do a different recited pledge thing to the Texas flag. Even more absurd. Insane even when you think about it. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rina and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. Rina is the highest grade... Oh, Rina... Wait, is that saying that Rina and Mion were the highest grade? Or is it saying separately Rina and then Mion just being in the highest grade? I don't know. Whatever, fuck it. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. Maybe that's just my problem. I'm thinking Rina seems like younger, but I think that's just personality. I think that's what the game is trying to impart to me. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rina and Mion with their studies.
ケイチ君はお勉強教えるのうまいね
You're a pretty good teacher, Kechi-kun.
わかりやすいよ
Easy to understand. Rina took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section.
教える端から自信がなくなるよ。
Teaching is making me lose confidence.
自分の理解の浅さがわかるな。
Makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is.
人に教えるには3倍理解してなければならないって言うしね。
They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards.
ケイちゃんもうちらに教えながら同時に復習もできてるわけなんだよ。
So while you're teaching us, you're getting in on your own practice. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me?
ミオンさ、一言じゃないぞ。
Look, Mion, this is for your own good.
真剣にやんないとまずいぜ。こんなレベルじゃ。
If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on. With these marks,
別に進学校を目指すわけでもないし、
it's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious school.
受験に必要なそこそこができてりゃ十分。
I'll be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exams. A little at a time. Lost my where I was there. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who had already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams.
みーちゃん、ケイチくんが頑張って教えてくれるんだからさ。
Michan, Keiichi-kun is doing his best to teach us.
私たちも頑張ろうよ。
We need to try hard too.
レナは素直ないい子だな。
You're such a good and honest kid, Rina.
先生がきっといい学校に進学させてやるからな。
I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school.
ありがとう。
Thanks so much.
レナには特に教えてやるからな。
Especially you, Rina.
二人きりでプライベートレッスンだぞ。
Private lessons. Just the two of us.
プライベートレッスン。
Private lessons? A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rina's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play of that next time. I wouldn't. Well, while Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question.
都会じゃさ、こんなに勉強しなきゃいけないわけ？
So, in the city, do you have to study this much?
この程度はできないと進学できないね。
If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university.
進学できないから勉強するわけ？
So you study just to get into a university?
まあ、
Well,
平たく言えばそうなるな。
yeah, basically.
将来役に立たないのは承知で。
While knowing that this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future.
こっちじゃさ、出席日数が足りてりゃみんな進学できるんだよ。
Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough.
そうなのか？
Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
そうかもね。
That's right.
試験で振り落とさなきゃならないほど人もいないし。
There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam.
誰でも進学できるならさ、そんなにガリガリとやることもないんじゃない？
If anyone can get into university, then there's no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right?
まあそうだけど、でも一般常識程度にはできた方が。
Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge.
おじさんはそんな無駄な勉強に時間をかけるよりさ、
This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly,
この思春期の貴重な時間をもっと有意義に過ごすために使うべきじゃないかなと考えるわけよ。
you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom.
ケイちゃん、おしまいおしまい。
Kei-chan, we're done. We're done.
さあ、楽しいランチタイム。
It's our wonderful lunchtime! In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period.
ケイチくん、お昼にしよう。
Keiichi-kun, let's have lunch! Lunch. I might have been making a very troubled face. Rina smiled brightly at me.
よっしゃ、
Alright,
飯にするか。
let's eat. Fuck school, let's go to lunch. There seemed to be different cliques, even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls. but we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Rina and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Rika-chan I had to try so hard not to say Sakato, and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well. Akechi-kun, hurry! Hurry! Rina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunch boxes. Akechi-san's lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crusts like some sort of destitute plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come now. Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, Representative Mi, please give the signal to start. At first, this is kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we are all friends. This is adorable. Let's eat! The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Look at them all! The 4 of them and then me, Shirley, behind the camera. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course, there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls, well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mion noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch. My, isn't Sir Akechi's lunch extravagant today? My, isn't Madame Satoko's lunch extravagant as well? I really fucked up my brain. The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Satoko was starting, our chopsticks locked in across counter, stabbing into each other's lunches. Lunch. My, how delicious! Oh, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile. I saved some from dinner last night. By the way, Satoko and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. Seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too? These taste like mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold, they were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do. I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing! Rika is quite exceptional in many ways. Oh! What? That's nothing for you to boast about. Rina's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know. Seemed that the topic of conversation switched to Rina when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rina's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rina's lunchbox constantly. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time.
美味しいかな
It's good, I hope. I hope.
かなり合格点。あ、ミオ、お前取りすぎだよ。
It's got high marks from me. Mion, you're taking too much. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Rika-chan reached over at the same time, and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rina's lunchbox was soon empty. It was kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Rina, but Rina seemed rather satisfied as she looked on.
いかがかしらレナさんもとてもお料理が上手ですことよ
How did you like it? Isn't Rina-san an extremely good cook too?
ケイイチさんとは大違いですの
Quite different from Kechi-san.
だからお前が威張ることじゃねえだろ。
I said that's nothing for you to boast about.
サトコだってケイちゃんと変わらないじゃんよ
You're not much different from Kei-chan. Kei-chan? Kei-chan? Kei-chan. Okay. Satoko.
あんたブロッコリーとカリフラワーの区別つくようになったわけ
Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? Satoko's face went pale.
おいおい、ブロッコリーとカリフラワーの違いなら俺だってわかるぜ。
Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know?
わかりますものわかるもん
Of course I can. I really can. It's really hard for her to lie.
ケイイチくんどっちでも茹でてマヨネーズかけると美味しいじゃない
Kechi-kun, both taste good when they're boiled on top of mayo, right?
いじめちゃかわいそうだよみーちゃんも
You shouldn't be picking on her. Mishan too. Rina hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily. It's the third time we've had that word. As she drew closer to Satoko.
まあまあ家庭科の授業ってことでじゃあサトコこれは
Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Satoko, what's this? Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon.
でもそれアスパラ
But that's asparagus. Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds, I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices, she's pretty terrible.
その黄色がカリフラワー緑がカリフラ
Oh, we're really teaching this baby a lesson in humiliation. Yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait, the green one is cauliflower.
さあどっちだ
So which?
多分黄色がブロッコリーで青がカリフラワーでも緑はその
Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower. But the green one is,
本当にどっちか分かってる降参した方がよくない
Do you really know which is which? How about you just give up? I'd expect no less from the class representative. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal.
分かりますもの
I do know!
分かるもん
I really do!
じゃあ答えなよ
Then answer the question.
分かるもん分かるもん
I... I know! Wah. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. Oh my god. Rina's got problems. Cute. Rina entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. Rina was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. No, I figured it out. Rina's got that one thing. You know, oh, there's a fucking term that would, like, especially passed around, like, sometime. You know, like, when people are so overcome with cuteness that they get, like, aggressive? I've already solved the mystery here. To this whole game, this whole story. She's got a thing where it's actually a thing. Where she is so overcome with cute imagery that she goes on a murdering spree. She gets so aggressive. And she kills everyone. What's that thing called? I'm trying to remember what the term is. It's like something, I thought it was more sophisticated than like cute aggression or something, but it's a thing. Did I read this? Rina was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Yeah, cute aggression. Okay. So I was right with cute aggression. Let me see. Yeah, it's like a real thing. Yeah, you get so overcome with the, as this game says, the euphoria of cute stimuli. But that's the thing. Rina's goes so far into the extreme, is my guess. Rina, Mimi is picking on me. Crying noises. Cute. It's okay. Rina Oni-chan will take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister. Fwish. Boof. A bam. It was like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Rina's fists shot out at a supersonic speed, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled, spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces. See, she's got the strength to commit cute murders. This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us. Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rina. See, Satoko-chan? I took care of them. Cute. I want to take you home. Making sure Rina couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Tisk. Damn it all, using Rina like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. What a great cast character so far. No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance. Hey, Kechi-kun, tomorrow, do you have plans or anything? Or anything? Huh? It was such a direct question from Rina, I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, then wouldn't you do it more subtly? Rina saw me lost for words and realized that I misunderstood and turned red as well. Oh, the innocence. No, I didn't mean it like that, you see. So apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Rina's in a panic, I went along with it a little. Oh, really? So, it wasn't meant that way? Huh? Huh? Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection. Kechi-kun, why are you so disappointed? Why? Why? Mi-chan? Oh, that's a good laugh. Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back.
そっか、そういう攻め方はおじさん知らなかったわ。
I see. This old geezer never knew you could push her buttons like that. Wah, 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 wah.
何なの？
Huh? Huh? What is it? Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach while Rina flailed around, completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well, feeling just a bit guilty. I ruffled Rina's hair. Oh yeah, something I meant to say earlier. I know you had asked earlier in chat if a couple of the people from, especially my friends from the Umineko series were going to drop in. I know that at least one of them is busy on vacation. So, I knew she wouldn't be able to make it anyway. But maybe they'll catch up. I didn't even let them know, though. I ended up not... I don't think I directly told them. But... there's a chance that they'll join at some point. Well, I think specifically I knew one of them was going to be away. So I didn't want to be like, oh, by the way, I'm starting this. You're going to miss it. Kind of thing. But since I'm only doing one Higurashi stream until next week, I mean, it'll be easy for them to catch up if they want. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Rina's hair.
嘘ごめん冗談悪かったよ
Kidding. Sorry. It was a joke. That was my fault. She really is a cute one.
冗談ってどこからだろう？どこからだろう？
Huh? Huh? A joke? Since when? Since when?
えあ途中から
Huh? About halfway through?
途中から？
Halfway?
ってことはケイちゃん、最初の真っ赤になったのはあれ演技じゃないんだ。
So, Kei-chan, that means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start?
それって
God, she's harshing my mellow. Huh? That means... I have a sneeze coming? I caught it. Okay, it was only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her.
えあいやその
Well, you see... Saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while. Fade to black.
で明日が暇だと何なんだよレナ
So, why were you asking if I'm free tomorrow, Rina?
何の話だっけ？
Huh? Oh, what were we talking about? It had been so long that Rina had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me.
ケイちゃんさ、まだこのひなみ沢一人じゃ回れないでしょ？
It's just, Kei-chan, you probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you? That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we're playing pin the tail on the donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down here.
そうだな町へ行くのと学校へ行く以外はまだ自信ないな
Yeah, I don't think I know how to get anywhere besides back and forth from school.
そうそうそれでね明日ねみーちゃんとレナでお散歩しながらケイチくんにひなみ沢を案内してあげようよってことになって
Yes. So you see, tomorrow, we were thinking that Michan and I could escort you through Hinamizawa, show you around. That would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer.
もちろん行くでしょ？
You'll come, of course, right?
暇ならな
If I'm free.
女の子が誘ってんじゃん。
You're being invited by a girl, you know.
暇ならな
If I'm free.
どうせ暇なんでしょ？
You're probably free anyways.
暇ならな
If I'm free. I was being stubborn so as to not give a clear yes or no. That's like a page out of my book. Someone asked me to hang out or something, I'll just pretend and act like I'm, you know, ooh, I might be busy. You never know, I'm a pretty popular guy. when they know very well that I'm that I'm just making things up. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front. Scamp.
圭一くん暇じゃないのかなこの
Keiichi-kun, you're not free, perhaps? Perhaps? While Mion and I had our rather sour back and forth, Rina peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave in.
すまん、許せ、ごめん。
I kinda... This is gonna sound like whatever, but like, I kinda like this dynamic between the three of them. Where like, Keiichi very much wants to like, have that rivalristic like back and forth with her, but then like very unable to read sarcasm and go have that back and forth. So at some point he just has to be like, okay, I guess I'll give it up. Interesting dynamic or triangle dynamic of the characters here. Sorry, forgive me. I apologize.
暇だ。
I'm free.
よかった
Great! The trepidation disappeared from Rina's face as it blossomed into a smile.
おうおう。
Hey now, hey now.
ミオンさんとレナさんじゃ随分と温度差がありますじゃん。
Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are to me compared to Rina, isn't there? Seems Mion doesn't care for how rude I was to her, compared to how quickly I agreed with Rina. But her being annoyed was very interesting. So I pushed Rina forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion behind.
行こう、レナ。
Let's go, Rina.
明日は二人っきりで出かけような。嫌味なミオンは置いてって。
Maybe it should just be the two of us tomorrow. Leave grumpy old Mion behind.
圭一くんがそれでいいなら
Huh? Well, if Keiichi-kun is okay with that, then...
案内しようって提案したのは私。しかとすんな、前原圭一。
I'm the one who came up with the idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, Keiichi Maibara.
二人きりでピクニック。
Maybara?
嬉しいな。弁当は持ってくか、レナ。
It'd be great if the two of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Rina?
お弁当いるならレナ作っちゃおうかな
If we're bringing a basket, I'll make all the food, maybe. Maybe.
レナもしかとすんな。二人がホテル街へ消えたって回覧す。
Oh man. Don't you ignore me too, Rina. I'll put out a village-wide circular saying that you two disappeared into the hotel district together. Great. Smack.
じゃあレナ今日は早く帰ってお弁当の準備するね
Well then, I'm going home right now to start making it.
明日が楽しみじゃあね圭一くんにみーちゃんさようなら
Tomorrow is gonna be so fun. Later, Keiichi-kun. Mi-chan. Bye. Rina bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face.
大丈夫か？
Are you alright?
ミオンとレナの立ち位置2メートルは離れてたはずだぞ。
There was over 2 meters between you guys.
あんたが来て以来、切れ味は増す一方。
Since you came, they've become sharper.
おじさん身が持たないわ。
This old geezer's body can't handle it. Maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Rina want to hit you. Or else this will end up being Mion's slapstick comedy hour. Oh, I'd love that though. If that happened, the results might be fatal.
くじけるなよ、ミオン。レナのジャブを見切れるのはお前しかいない。
Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one who could dodge her jabs.
私は膝じゃないかと思ってんだけどね。
It felt like it was her knee though. Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport.
レナには負けられないぞ。ミオンも鍛えてリベンジだ。
You can't lose to Rina. You need to train up and have a rematch.
ケイちゃんがしてよ。おじさんは応援してる。
Kei-chan, you should... This old geezer will root for you. Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Rina's infallible technique. Yeah, we got nice section breaks as well. We're just missing the clock. What is this? Huh? Whoa, what is that? What is this? Huh? Tips jump scare. What? What the hell? What am I looking at? Also, we got Gregorian chanting going on. What happens? Let's find out together.
レナってさ、
What?
俺と同い年だったよな。
Are these just like flashbacks? I'm scared. So, Rena, we're the same age?
うん、そうだよ。
Yes, that's right.
も同じだよね。
We're the same zodiac animal, too. Hey now, it'd be weird if we were the same age, but not the same zodiac animal.
そんなことないよ。
That's
誕
not-
生日の違いがあれば年齢が同じでも干支が違うこともありえるって。
She says that's not true. If your birthday isn't the same, then you can have different animals even if you're the same age.
あれ
Huh?
あ、そうか。
Oh, I see.
ミオン、頭いいじゃないか。
Mion, you're pretty smart.
ところで、ケイチ君は何月生ま
I
れ
keep getting
な
thrown
の
off.
かな？
Ah ha ha ha. What month were you born, by the way, Ketchikin?
レナは7月なんだよ。
I'm July. Rena smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Huh.
だが諦めろ。
Don't even.
俺に誕生日で挑もうったって無駄なことだ。
It's impossible to challenge me by birthday.
なんなら一月差ごとに100円の賭けをしてもいいぜ。
I wouldn't even mind you if you bet $1 per month. Huh? Huh?
なんでだろう。
Why?
なんでだろう。
Why? Rena panicked at suddenly being challenged to a wager. Yeah, I know, it seems unfair. Like, what the... Hey, now that I know the result, you wanna place a wager? Given how panicked she is, I'm certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something as simple as a birthday is so fun, I can't help myself.
ってことはケイちゃん、ひょっとして4月生まれ？
I like the music. It's kind of like it's got like a slight bar jazzy kind of like vibe to it a bit until this thing kicks in, but very, I keep wanting to like snap along and I'm moving my head. You gotta take my word for it. Mion says, so that means you were born in April, Kei-chan.
そういうことだな。
Right
残
on.
念だな、レナ。
Too bad, Rena.
俺、もうとっくにレナより年上なんだよ。
I'm already far older than Rena.
へえ、そうなんだ。
Oh, I see.
じゃあ、みーちゃんと同い年なんだね。
Then you're the same age as Mi-chan.
まあほんの何ヶ月かはね。すぐにまた差を開いてあげるけどさ。
Well, it's just a few months. That gap will open up again soon enough. Mion snickered through her nose. Hey, now, that's not something to get all high and mighty about. As if I'm one to talk. Heh.
そういえば、ミオンって上級生なんだよな。
Now that you mention it, you're in a higher grade, right, Mion?
下級生の方が燃えるってんなら、今日から下級生ってことでもいいけど。
If you're into underclassmen, then I can be an underclassman from now on.
みーちゃん、よくわかんないこと言ってる。
Mi-chan, you're not making any sense to me. Just by seeing Rena's blushing face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though.
で、サトコとリカちゃんが下級生と。どころか、学校が違うくらいの下級生だよな。
Then Satoko and Rika-chan are underclassmen. Their grade is so different that they should be in a different school, shouldn't they?
ケイチ君はちょっと好みの年齢が低すぎると思うな。
Kiichi-kun, your tastes are a bit too young, I think. I think you're not making any sense yourself, Rena. I'll just grab into her head and scruff it up a bit.
やめて
Stop it.
前から思ってたんだけどさ、なんでこの学校ってクラスが学年混在なんだ？
I wondered about it before, yeah. I was wondering why the school has different school years all mixed up.
教室の数が足りないからだよ。仕方ないじゃん。
There aren't enough classrooms. Can't help it.
営林署の建物を間借りしてんだからさ。
This building is being rented from the forestry services after all. When she says it like that, it makes sense. I've thought our school was strange for a while now. The schoolyard is gravel, there are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked here.
なんで借りてるんだよ。本当の学校はどうしちゃったんだよ。
Why is it being borrowed? What happened to the real school?
戦前からずーっと建ってたらしいからね。老朽化でね。
There was one here forever from before the war. It got dilapidated.
廃校ってわけよ。
They closed it down. It probably was a grand old schoolhouse.
まあそれで生徒は町の学校に通うことになったんだけどさ。遠いでしょ？
Well, because of that, the students would have to attend the school in the city. That's pretty far, though, you know?
どこの学校だったの？
Which school would that be?
沖宮の駅前通りを抜けて病院に曲がって小児科の向かいに学校あるのわかる？
Did you know there's a school if you pass by the Okinomiya train station? Turn at the hospital and head towards the pediatrics department?
遠いよ
What? So far. I couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Rena's reaction.
まあそんなわけでさ。
Well, that's why.
沖宮の学校に通いたくない連中はこうして営林署の建物を間借りした仮校舎に通ってるってわけさ。
The guys that didn't want to commute to Okinomiya rented out the building from the forestry services and are attending the pseudo school house here.
ひなみ沢の子供の半分くらいかな。朝早くに自転車で通ってる子たちも結構いるよ。
About half the children in Hinamizawa go here. There are quite a lot of kids that come here on bike.
まあこんなはちゃめちゃな学校に通ってたら進学校とかはちょっと無理だろうからね。
Well, since they're attending this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education.
そんなことないよみーちゃん。ちゃんと頑張ればどこでだってお勉強はできるよ。
That's not true, Michan. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want.
お、そうだぞそうだぞ。レナとは意見が一致したな。
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I totally agree with Rena on this one.
そうだねそうだね。
Yes, that's right. That's right.
頑張ろう。
Let's try our best.
せいぜい頑張ってくださいな。おじさんはささやかに応援しとりますわ。
All of you, try your best. This old man will be rooting for you. I genuinely love how Mion refers to herself as an old man. I've got that same energy. We're on the same page, me and Mion. Have I already picked my favorite character so far? Probably.
俺たちがじゃないぞ。ミオンがだぞ。お前受験生だろ？
Not just us, you too. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you?
こんな成績じゃお先真っ暗だぞ。
Your future is bleak with grades like this.
いいもんいいもん。路頭に迷ったら永久就職してケイちゃんに食わせてもらうから。
Fine, just fine. If I get stuck, then I'll just mooch off Kichan, as he works forever.
永久就職ってなんだろうなんだろう。
What do you mean by mooch off Kichan? What do you mean?
ほらそこうるさいですよ。
Oh, new character? Hey, you're too loud.
自習は静かに。
Be quiet during self-study. The teacher yelled at all three of us. I was the teacher. Wah, wah, wah. It was completely our fault. Satsuko saw it and chortled haughtily. There's that word again. Fourth time, I think. I stuck out. We gotta get a haughtily word counter. I stuck out my tongue at her in response. It is just as Mion says. This school has nothing to do with higher education, but it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. Gong! This is very weird music for this section. A tad long for an aside, but I kind of liked it. It's kind of weird thing. So like when it brought up the tips menu thing, I thought we finally unlocked like the thing that was like, oh, here's the character descriptions and everything. But this is like, these are like flashback, like you said, like asides. But I mean, it's kind of an interesting, for lack of a better term, maybe a system going on here. I mean, I feel like I should read them still, though. But it's strange, presentation-wise. It's only June, but it's already so hot. Oh, did I click out? I could hear the Higurashi outside chirping me, me, and at night, there are mosquitoes. It might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings were still cool.
暑いでございますわね。
Summer, I do declare. Satoko was flapping her skirt languidly. I know. I don't know. It's the question of our generation. Which is the better crying sounds? The cicadas or the seagulls? Honking, honk, honk, honking. I feel like I already know the answer, but there isn't a Higurashi fighting game, is there? The only spin-off game I think I brought this up during my Umineko playthrough. But while we were playing Umineko, a friend of the chat, who pops in sometimes, he looked it up and he showed, I think I mentioned this, like I said, during the Umineko playthrough, but there's like this, I know there's a Higurashi basketball game, like, where the Higurashi characters, I saw a very short clip, and I was like, damn, if we get to Higurashi, I feel like I should play that. This says that's pretty unladylike there. I think it's the skirt thing. Yeah, okay. Even if she was a little brat, she still was a girl.
ケイチさんはワイシャツ一枚で涼しそうですわね。羨ましいですわ。
Kechi does seem quite cool with just a single button-up shirt. So jealous.
俺から見りゃスカートのサトコの方が涼しそうだよ。
From how I see things, the skirt you're wearing looks like it would be much cooler.
この時期のズボンの股ぐらがどれだけ蒸すか女のお前にはわかるまい。
A girl like you wouldn't understand just how hot it is wearing jeans in the season.
蒸すんだ。
It gets hot. Let's see. Higurashi Daybreak. Japanese Dojin third-person shooter. A third-person shooter? Interesting. We're very early in our Higurashi journey, but we're already laying out a possible roadmap. Let me see this. Oh wait, I actually have seen screenshots of this game thing before. Now that I think about it. Or I've not only screenshots, but I think I've seen like a 5-second clip of like the third-person shooting thing to it. That's funny. But not a fighting game. Truly not a fighting game. Okay, we already read the arena line. This girl has gone imagining something indecent. Oh boy.
レナの夏服は涼しそうな色合いがいいよな。見てるこっちも涼しくなる。
Rena's summer clothes have a nice refreshing color. Feel cooler just looking at them.
ありがとう。
Ha ha ha! Thank you.
本当に涼しいんだよ。
They really do feel pretty cool.
私 私もレナさんみたいな涼しい夏服が良かったですわね。
I do wish my summer clothes were as breezy as Rena's.
でもさとこちゃんの夏服ワンピースですっごい可愛いし、レナはさとこちゃんの夏服着てみたいな。
But Satoko-chan, your summer clothes are so cute, being a one piece and all. I'd like to wear your summer clothes.
これ結構蒸しますわよ。絶対にレナさんの方が涼しいですわ。
This is actually quite stuffy, you know. I do believe what you're wearing would feel much cooler.
でも可愛い服の方がきっと楽しいよ。はう。
But it would be so much more fun with cute clothes. I had a feeling that Rina and Sakataro's base values were fundamentally different.
そういえばこの学校って指定の制服とかないんだよな。
Speaking of which, our school doesn't have a uniform.
ないよ。
Wait, did I say Sakataro earlier? I honestly, if I said it, I could totally see why my brain is mixing and wanting to say Sakato. Because then it's Sakataro. Did I say Sakataro? Oh, fuck. You know what? Now that I'm trying to think, like, I could totally see myself had accidentally said Sakataro. Ugh. The brain poison. I probably said it. I didn't even try, though. Ugh. Yeah, it doesn't.
ふさわしい服であれば私服でも大丈夫なんだよ。
As long as they're proper, then regular clothes are fine. There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain. Oh, I did. Fuck.
他の連中が着てる制服は何なんだよ。みんなお揃いだよな。
What's the uniform they're all wearing? They're all the same.
あれは町の学校の制服なんですのよ。別に決まってるわけじゃないですけど、みんな着てますわね。
That's the city school's uniform. It's not like there's a rule, but they're all wearing them.
そこへ行くと俺らの仲間はみんないろいろな制服を着てるよな。わざわざどこかから取り寄せたのか？
Umineko brain rot is a very accurate term. It's seeped in. Speaking of which, everybody in our group is wearing a different uniform, aren't we? Did you go out of your way to get them from somewhere?
ええ、ミオンさんが調達してくださいますの。
Why, yes. Mian-san supplied them.
みーちゃんの親類で古着商をやってる人がいて、全国の学校の服を格安で仕入れてるんだって。
Mi-chan's relatives run a secondhand clothing store. They can get school clothes from all over the country for cheap, they say.
で、その親類に頼んでいろいろ個性的な制服を取り寄せてもらってるわけか。
So, you asked those relatives to get a bunch of unique school uniforms, then? At Mion, she probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange secondhand clothing store. I get that it's a secondhand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? That's pretty strange for a secondhand clothing store. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about? Okay, the way these 5 lines... This is like when you have to fill up a book report with a certain amount of words. It's like you just say the same thing over and over again. Just rephrase it slightly.
それはレナも思うよ。他にも体操服とかスクール水着のフルとかも扱ってるの。
Yeah, I think so too. I also have used school swimsuits and PE uniforms.
そういうののフルはちょっと嫌だよね。
I don't like the idea of having used ones.
あんまり儲かってなさそうな商売だな。きっと少しでも儲けさせるためにミオンが一肌脱いでやってるんだろうな。
Doesn't sound like that shop makes much money. Probably have Mion pitch in and help so they can make a bit more.
でもいつもミオンさんが自信満々に言いますのよ。今にきっと大ブレイクしてすごい商売になるって。
But Mion says it'll be a big hit and become a great store with such conviction. A secondhand clothing store that stocks school uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it. Mion's just so great. I can't get over it. Like, we go back in this menu, it's like, and then we click in and it's like a couple of like little schoolgirls talking about how hot they are. like feeling wise, temperature wise. And then it's like, yeah, would you like to read this little story? It's like a very weird whiplash. It's extremely funny to me. Save and load? Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, they got little cicadas there in the folders. Wait, end of chapter 1? Are we done? And we're done. And we're done. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. And to top it off, that pesky mom of mine pushing a return journey errand on me just as I'm trying to leave the house. Today was the day Rina and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Got the funky jazz coming back. Bar lounge. Oh, look at the little hat. The hat is cute. Rina and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place. Oh, let me see this. Oh, that's very cute. I agree. Adorable. Kichan, you're late.
悪い悪い。責めるのは夕べの面白かった特番に行ってくれ。
Sorry. The show I was watching last night was really interesting. Blame that.
女の子との待ち合わせに遅刻して言い訳がそれってわけ？
Oh, so that's your excuse for being late and keeping two girls waiting.
みーちゃんだって今来たばかりなんだよ。
Mi-chan, you just got here yourself.
夕べの密着24時間面白かったしねえ。
Last night's episode of A Day in the Life of was interesting, wasn't it? She was just as guilty as me. Rina was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Mion answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right, Rina really did make a picnic. A picnic basket. Kichan, after you left,
大張り切りだったらしいよ。
Rina pulled out all the stops.
別に俺がけしかけたわけじゃないだろう。
It's not like I forced her to do it.
そんな大変じゃなかったから気にしないでよ。ね。
It was nothing, so don't worry about it, okay?
夕べから今朝まであのテンションらしいよ。
She's been like this since last night, you know?
責任取れんの？
Can you take responsibility for this?
わかった。俺も男だ。責任は取る。
Alright. I'm a man after all. I'll take responsibility.
責任ってなんだろう。
Huh? Responsibility? For what? Don't worry about it, Rina. As we both turned around slowly to look at Rina, our gazes drifted downwards to the massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Rina we were talking about here.
2キロくらいかな。
About 2 kilos, I guess.
レナね、荷物持つとき、よっこらしょって言ってた。
When Rina was picking it up, I could see she was struggling a bit.
5キロ。
I say 5.
それはオーバー。
You're exaggerating.
ケイチくん男の子だから
Ketchikun is a boy after all.
きっといっぱい食べるだろうと思ってたくさんね。
I thought he could probably eat a lot, so I made a lot, okay?
もう行こう。よっこらよっこ。
Let's get going. Oh! Just from the way she was lifting it up, I couldn't believe the only thing is in there were lunch boxes.
訂正。俺も5キロ。
Correction. I say 5 kilos too.
手伝いはするけど、全部食べるんだからね。
I'll help out, but all of it needs to be eaten.
レナを悲しませたら許さないよ。
I won't forgive you if you make Rena sad, got it? The only thing I could do at that moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. I don't know why, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't think it's truly understood just where my brain goes to like past streams or like thinking about other things as I'm like reading this. Probably you could study it and be like, that's why like I have bad memory or something. But speaking of Umineko brain rot, literally in the last like couple minutes, I was thinking about what was it? During Umineko, there was the quiz thing that was like towards the end. And then how I loaded up, like, I was thinking of the save menu in this game. And then I was thinking about the save menu in Umineko. And how I loaded up, like, a really, really old save. And remember, I went through, like, a whole chapter to try to find, like, a hint to, like, a thing. Because something in chat was like, oh, this is referencing maybe something that I had previously had. And so I like, sat there and, like, scrolled through, like, oh, I loaded up some old save and, like scrub through a whole like chapter just to try to find something and ended up not. Ugh, I'm so dumb. Oh god. Yeah, I thought so. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, having finished with the pleasantries, we begin our leisurely stroll. I'm telling you, I made jokes about this back when we were during the Umineko playthrough. I don't think I could ever sit down and like listen and watch myself play through the entirety of Umineko again. But there's gonna be like key moments that I will like want to like try to go back and find and watch for sure. But like years from now. Not anytime soon. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough for sure. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't have even imagined something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies, after all. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around.
こんにちは。
Ah, good day.
こんにちは。
Random villager says good day.
あら、そちらは。確か、前原くんだったかしら。
Oh, you would be Maibara-kun, I believe. My two companions exchanged greetings with everybody we ran across. All these passerby even knew my name.
なんで俺ってこんなに有名人なんだ？
When did I become this famous? We passed 3 people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid.
悲しいかな。
Huh, it's a bit sad to say.
ひなみ沢は人が少ないからね。みんな顔見知りなんだよね。
Yeah, background. Well, I mean, certain sections we got like some backgroundy characters, but it was like very rare because the whole thing was Rokenjima was such a secluded, you know, island. So during any Rokenjima scenes, obviously there's not going to be any randos walking about. So I guess you're right there, but Rokenjima. Mion says, it's a bit sad to say, everyone knows everyone since there are so few people here in Hinamizawa.
つまりなんだ？
So that means...
知らない顔が歩いてれば、それは自動的に新しく引っ越してきた前原さんってことになるわけか。
So that means when an unfamiliar face walks by, they automatically assume it's that Maibara fellow who just moved here?
そういうことになるね。
Yeah, that's how it works out. It was a process of elimination you can only pull off in a place like this, but it was quite effective. Why, did I just leave the mouse there? Damn. From now on, I better make sure to maintain a good reputation. The day I'm discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lich by the next day. Now why the hell is that a concern? Just don't look at dirty magazines in a public bookstore, dude. Simple solutions to simple question or problems. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. I don't know, like, that's like the whole theory of like, oh, I didn't mean to be rude, like, you know, or like I just don't do it. Don't be weird. Or like the creepy people, you know, creepy people out there that just exist, and then like you catch them or call them out and they're like, I wasn't trying to be creepy. And it's like, just, it's very easy, just don't be weird. I digress. Me on my soapbox here. That's not the end of this nightmare.
もちろんわかるよ。
Of course I know them.
最初に会ったのが牧野林店の竹蔵おじさん。
The first person we met was old man Takuzo from the Makino bike shop.
趣味は盆栽と尺八なんだよ。
His hobbies are bonsai and playing the flute.
次が乾物屋の次男の大輔くん。
Next, we met the grocer's second son, Daisuke-kun.
趣味は狙撃で将来の夢は超永久スナイパーだとか。
His hobby is sharpshooting, and he hopes to be an ace sniper in the future.
それで今の人は入江診療所の看護師のミオさん。
And the person we just met was Mio-san, the nurse from the clinic.
趣味は野鳥の観察と撮影だって。
Her hobbies are birdwatching and photography.
すれ違った全員の名前までわかるのかよ。
You know the names of everyone we pass by?
プロフィールまで。
And even their profiles? Seeing my surprise, Mion and Rina exchanged looks and burst into laughter.
はあね。
Well, yeah.
ここいらは都会みたいにご近所付き合いが希薄じゃないからね。
We're not like the city where people hardly know their neighbors.
試しに聞いてみよ
Then let's try it out.
う。今ここにいる俺は誰だ？
You there. Who am I?
前原圭一く
You're catchy, Maibara.
ん。意地悪なこと言うけど、本当は優しいテレ屋さん。
You say some mean things, but you're actually a kind, shy person.
転校してきてようやく3週間。
It's been 3 weeks since you transferred here.
趣味は昼寝。
Your hobby is taking afternoon naps.
最近トランクス派に転向
Lately, you switched over to wearing boxers,
したよね。
didn't you?
もういいもういい。
That's enough, that's enough.
トランクス。
Oh no, Rena, don't start. Don't start. But boxers?
それもいい。
Enough of that. Apparently, there is absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was just a place to be trifled with. It was not a place to be trifled with.
これじゃあさ、俺のための案内ってより、俺のお披露目みたいだな。
This feels more like you guys are showing me off rather than showing me around.
そうだね。
That's right.
うちらさ、これだけ賑やかに練り歩いてたからね。
We're parading around like this after all.
みんな思うんじゃない？
It'll give everyone a chance to see for themselves.
ケイちゃんもひなみ沢に馴染んでくれたんだって。
That Kei-chan is fitting right in here at in Hinamizawa.
ひなみ沢は過疎だから。
The population in Hinamizawa is shrinking,
村中みんなが新しい仲間を歓迎してくれてるの。
so the villagers welcome anybody who's new here. I thought about brushing it off with something to the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to, again, the same way.
あらこんにちは。
Oh my, good day.
仲良しそうでいいわね。
It's wonderful seeing you getting along.
藤島さんちのおばさんだよ。
This lady here is Fujishima-san.
こんにちは。
Good day.
あら前原くん、両手に花でいいわね。
Oh my, Maibara-kun, how wonderful for you having a lovely girl on each arm.
どう？
How are you?
生活はもう慣れた？
Getting used to life here? Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I do, speaking of Rokenjima, and like obviously the difference between like, oh look, it's little school friends versus a very fucked up rich family. Like, I kind of miss the fucked up rich family of Umineko. I'm sure I'm gonna grow to love this, and like I said, I love I love this character. I love the character so far. But there's a weird part of me that just loves a twisted, fucked up rich family, you know? But I'm sure I will grow to love this just the same. Just from a very early setting, like the appeal of Umineko is very like easy to for me to like latch onto. Exactly. There's very from the get-go. In Umineko, it's like here's the drama, the problems. Here we go. Let's go. And then this, it's like, oh, these kids love to tease each other. And it's funny that you say that because you know what happens. You know that the thing is, I'm sure things pick up. Capital T things. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was. Good. As I looked back over to Rina and Mion, they gave me a wink. So, now then. About time to have lunch, maybe. Maybe? She wants to ditch the fucking heavy-ass bag she has. Rina's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each other. I'm a man. I'll do what I can. But it's just too much. It's fine, Ki-chan. Leave it to this old man. Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative. Rina, if we're going to eat, we might as well go somewhere with a good view. Yes. Good idea. I agree. Rina nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. I swear it's like almost so close to the Chocobo song. Cresting the top of a stone stairway, a shrine drawn straight out of my imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling. This here is the Furude Shrine. It's probably the place with the best view around. This place. Be sure to remember it. On our next break, a festival will be held here. Isn't it a bit too early in the season for a festival? The Watanagashi isn't a summer festival. Long ago, it used to be a celebration of the end of winter. I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer. Now then, spread out the lunch boxes. And there. Various colored lunch boxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. The way this background is, it looks like, if we just take into perspective, it just looks like Rina's like this giant. She's just like, not like, it just looks like she's just towering over this place. It sure did smell delicious. It was Rina's home cooking. It's like she's fuck, what's the term though, where for she's like a kaiju. She's like just towering over this town. She's gonna stomp it flat. Yeah, you do get to see how, I mean, this place is so fucking tiny. It looks like it's got like a few like streets. That's it. It sure did smell delicious. It was Rina's home cooking. It went without saying that it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Mion, it'll take more than just a good view to get this all down, you know. Good afternoon. What? Who invited them? It was Rika-chan and Satoko. Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. I see. This was our secret plan. The power in numbers. You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty.
騒がしいから来てみれば、これは何ですの？
Now I really, like, intentionally want to say Sakataro. Now I gotta... for the shits and giggles, I almost feel like, as a bit, I gotta call Satoko Sakataro. I mean, blonde hair, small stature, it's almost too good. We just had to come since there was such a commotion. What is the meaning of this?
見りゃわかるだろ。
Take a look.
これからランチタイムだ。
It's time for lunch.
ビュッフェスタイルだ。
Buffet style.
レラの手作り弁当に舌鼓だ。
A handmade gourmet meal by Rina. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's too obvious of a similarity. It's too simple. Yeah, they're nothing alike actually. That's the upsetting part.
そんなの見ればわかるでございますわ。
I can see that much.
どうして人様の庭でご座なんか広げてますの？
Why have you laid out a tarp on our property?
神社は公共の場所だぞ。勝手に独占するな。
The temple is public grounds. It's not yours.
圭一の言う通りですよ。
Kiechi's right.
みんなのお庭にしますです。
This is everyone's property.
やっぱりリカちゃんはいい子だな。
Wow, Rika-chan is such a good girl.
座りな、そこ。
Have a seat.
一緒に食べよ
Eat with us. After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Sakataro.
ちょっとお待ちなさいな。
Hold on one second.
私はどこに座ればいいんですの？
Where's my spot?
う。お前に座る場所はないし、食べる分もない。
No spot for you and nothing for you to eat.
大丈夫だよ。さとこちゃんの分もちゃんとあるから。
Don't worry, there's some for you too.
ない。さとこの分も俺がいただく。
None. I'll eat all of hers.
そんなことは許せませんの。リカ。
I will not allow that. Rika!
はい、お箸です。
Here, chopsticks. Both Satoko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other.
いやはやケイちゃん乗せるのうまいわほんと。
Man, really? Ki-chan, you're really good at leading people on.
才能あるのかもしれない。
You might have a talent for this.
はい、お皿。みーちゃんも、リカちゃんも。
Have a plate. One for Mi-chan and Rika-chan too. Rina whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates.
僕たちも頑張らないとなくなってしまうです。
If we don't hurry, it'll all be eaten up.
そうだね。よし、
That's right. Okay,
参戦と行くかな。
shall we commence this battle?
いっぱい食べてね。
Please, eat a lot.
ちゃんとみんなの分あるから。
There's enough for everyone. Rina said as she opened up a thermos. Just then, I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different.
そのハンバーグは渡しませんわ。
I will not allow you to have this hamburger. Oh, we didn't get images like this in our Umineko experience. We'll give a point to this series. I mean, also this is this might be my first time getting a look slightly at my character, and I get it at like a we did, except they were all gruesome. I mean, I didn't just mean like full arts like this. I just meant like comedic things like this is what I meant to say.
いや、肘は反則だろう、さとこ。
In a comedic style. We did, except they were all in the spin-off. That doesn't count. I'm not counting Golden Fantasia in this. Using your elbows against the rules, Satoko.
襟首をつかむのも反則でございます。
Grabbing the back of my collar is also against the rules. It was a tough battle. Blocking with her full momentum and an elbow in the opening moves, Satoko appeared to have the upper hand. But the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand.
最後のミートボール。
You know what we did have though? Nanjo falling down a hole? True. True. And multitudes of characters without real pants on. The last meatball.
校長サトコ破れたり
Satoko Hojo has been bested. Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika-chan patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Rina blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Rina to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. Well, that sounds foreboding. That's a foreboding statement if I've ever read one. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh.
日本語ってやつはさ、どうしてこう味に対する賛辞が少ないんだろうな。
I do wonder why there are so few words in Japanese to praise how something tastes.
食事中の団らんって考えがそもそも近代に入ってからだからじゃない？
Isn't it because the idea of togetherness during a meal didn't begin until the modern era?
昔の人は無言で食事を済ませたそうだし、
It seems that long ago people ate in silence.
作る人もちょっぴり寂しかったろうね。
It must have made the people preparing the food a bit sad, don't you think?
きっと昔の人は食べるのに忙しくて味を褒める暇もなかったのですわ。
It's probably because the people back then were so busy eating that they didn't have the time to compliment the flavor. That's just you.
でもね、美味しいの一言だけでも嬉しいよ。
But, you know, just hearing that it's good makes me happy.
苦労の甲斐があったかなって。
That my effort was worth it, I mean. She blushed a little as she said that.
美味しいです。
It was delicious. With absolutely perfect timing, Rika-chan struck Rina directly with praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence.
Huh?
Huh? After Rina uttered, boing! An unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke rose from her head with an audible, huh?
リカちゃん、お持ち帰り。
Oh no, it's coming! Watch out! She's gonna murder you! She's gonna squeeze you to death! Rika-chan, I'm gonna take you home! No, I mean...
ありがとう。
Thank you!
本当に美味しかったですよ。
It was really delicious. Rina flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika-chan and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it.
リカちゃんには褒めてもらったお礼に、じゃ
To reward Rika-chan for her praise. Ta-da!
ーん、これをサービスね。
These are special. 2 apple rabbits. After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them toward Rika-chan. After Rika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way.
なんだよ、サトコ。
What is it, Sakuto? Satoko.
その挑戦的な目は。
What's with that defiant look?
皆さんにはレナさんのリンゴを獲得できるだけの賛辞が用意できまして。
Has everyone prepared proper praise to receive apples from Rina-san?
強気じゃんよ。
Don't push yourself.
ボキャ品のあんたにどんな賛辞が思いつくっての？
What kind of praise can you think up with your weak vocab?
では、
Well then,
ご覧遊ばせ。
allow me to show you. After Satoko flashed Mion and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly. Hey.
エレナお姉ちゃんのお弁当サトコも美味しかったよ。
So, Rinoni-chan's lunch, Satoko thought it was yummy too? Satoko looked up at her poutily while talking cutesy. Bleh. What? How was that praise? That's not even persuasion by tears. That's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is Arena Limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Rina. Of course, that was asking for the impossible. Rina glomped Satoko and began rubbing her cheeks against her. Cute.
サトコちゃんもかわいいよ。お持ち帰り。
Satoko is so cute. Take you home. Swish. Stab. Push. Satoko was also presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me again with that defiant gaze. It took only 5 seconds to take down Rina. That's unfair. To think she had such a trick.
悔しければレナさんにご褒美がもらえるような30億巻が遊ばせ。
If it upsets you so much, why not reward Rina-san with some praise? Damn it. That was a dirty trick. First of all, that wasn't even praise.
サトコ、
Satoko,
それで勝てたつもりとはね。
you think you've won with that, don't you?
あんたらの底の浅い技とはわけが違うものを見せてあげようじゃない。
How about I show you guys something much better than your superficial gimmicks?
それは頼もしいぜミオ。
That sounds great, Mion.
それはどんな技なんだ？
What kind of trick is it?
やるのはケイちゃん。
Ki-chan is going to be the one who does it.
は
What?
見せてもらおうではございませんか。
Ho ho ho! Why don't I have you show me then?
豊島のあがきを。
The writhing of an old maid. The plan of attack she just suggested was wicked, but it was the only thing we had to beat Satoko. After sipping my tea, I started talking very naturally and calmly. Perfectly.
本当に美味しいよな。
It really is good, isn't it?
これってさ、全部手作りなのかい？
This is all freshly made, right?
ううん。
No.
実はね、これほとんど冷凍物なの。
Actually, most of it, almost all of it was frozen stuff.
じゃあ、レナの手作りのってどれだ？
Then which ones did you make fresh?
その恥ずかしいな。教えなきゃダメ？どうしても？
Well, it's embarrassing. Do I really have to say? Must I? From the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, their expression melted into euphoria.
わかるよ。これでしょ。
I already know. This one, right? Rina turned an even deeper shade of red, the words "I can't believe it" practically written on her face.
なんでわかるかな？
How can you tell?
レナの手作り。
How? That I made it. Of course, Miana told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher.
レナの匂いがしたから。
It had your smell. Silence enveloped the area. Rina, face still completely red, froze solid. She hasn't moved. With a small yelp, Satoko also blushed. Of course, I did too.
レナの手作りのリンゴのウサギさんが食べたいな。なんて。
I sure would like to try one of Rina's handmade apple rabbits. I said that weird. Rabbits. Or something. Even if this was all because I was competing against Satoko. Felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. Then, at that moment, Boosh. It was a Tupperware container filled with rabbits. This is sorry. Please eat some, Ketchi-kun. There's plenty for you. What? Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved in my mouth, knocking me over. Okay. Say, Ketchi-kun. My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even more apples were shoved into my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced in my mouth. More and more. Apples. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Okay. Best attempt. Kei-chan, that was a beautiful sacrifice. How's that, Satoko? This is our complete victory, isn't it? I can't believe it. Such trickery. It doesn't bother me at all. Satoko ground her teeth, mortified. We did it. I claimed victory as my consciousness drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Rina stopped her squealing as she suddenly realized something. Rika-chan, you're not eating it? Did the salt water make it too strong, maybe? Maybe? Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do. Poor Mr. Rabbit. I feel sorry for him. I want to save him. What? Excuse me? Pwee. That was the sound of blood spurting from Rina's nose. Ah, of course. Cute! Tonight I will take you home! She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then, coming back to her senses, she took all the apples around me, gathered them up with a whip, and fixed them back up on a plate. Now they're all just fine, Kei. Here, I'll give them to you, Rika-chan. Kei? Rika-chan raised up Satoko's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbits shoved to her. She whispered, "This is our victory." Damn. What? A comeback? Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. Good stuff. What an image. Are we gonna get taken back to the No, we're not. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly. Later, Rina and Kei-chan. See you tomorrow. Thanks for today, Mion. I had a great time. See you tomorrow. Satoko and Rika-chan went home as well, parted ways with Mion, and it ended with just Rina and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home. Thanks for coming today, Kei-chan. Keiichi-kun. Was it fun? Yeah. Lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now. Then, well...
いいかなかな。
Would you mind taking a little detour, maybe? Maybe? I was about to say, if Rina asked you to go on a detour, asked like that, immediately say no. But maybe immediately say yes, you know?
寄り道
A detour?
遠いのか
Is it far?
ちょっと歩くけどすぐ済むから。
It's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long. Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Rina, I quietly nodded. I still feel like Rina could end up being like the scariest character. Don't let her cutesy facade fool you. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. Look at all this construction shit. A large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper. Ew.
今日は久しぶりだから何かあるかな何かあるかな。
It's been quite a while. I wonder what's here. I wonder what's here.
久しぶりってレナの用はあのゴミの山かよ。
When you say it's been a while, you mean the business you had here was with this garbage pile?
ゴミじゃないよ。
It's not garbage.
レナにとっては宝の山だもん。
To me, it's a pile of treasure. Rina had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. So that meant there was something cute here? Question marks.
わあ、新しい山だ。
A new pile.
ワクワクワクワク。
I can't wait. I can't wait. She descended the unstable slope with ease. I'd expect no less from a born and bred country girl.
おい待てよ、今行くから。あったたたた。
Hey, wait, I'm coming. Ah, da, 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 da. My city-raised self was completely pitiful.
いいよ。ケイチ君はそこにいて。すぐ済むから。
It's alright, just stay right there, Keiichi-kun. It won't take long. Rina kindly declined my accompaniment.
転ぶなよ。
Don't fall.
足元に気をつけろよ。
Watch your step.
大丈夫だよ。大丈夫。
I'm fine, I'm fine.
全然平気。
This is nothing at all. Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Rina disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rina around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Oh. I thought the guy was holding a gun at first, not a camera. I was like, oh my god! Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit. But something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case.
おっと。
Whoa!
びっくりした。
You surprised me. Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line. Yeah, I think it, because I think you had shown, yeah. I think I like a picture of it, but it does look familiar. That was my line.
驚いたのはこっちですよ。
I'm the one who surprised here.
ごめんごめん。
My bad, my bad.
驚かすつもりはなかったんだ。君はひなみ沢の人かい？
I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? Hinamizawa? I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting.
僕は富武。
I'm Tomitake? Fuck it. Let me get it. Oh, I have to...
フリーのカメラマンさ。
Freelance photographer.
ひなみ沢にはたまに来るんだ。
I come to Hinamizawa from time to time. Okay, I think I can replay
僕は富武、フリーのカメラマン
Tomatake.
さ。ひなみ沢にはたまに来るんだ。
Tomatake.
僕は富武、僕は富武、僕は富武、僕は富武、僕
Don't
は
talk
富
it.
武、フリーのカメラマンさ。
Whatever.
ひな
Fuck
み
it.
沢にはたまに来るんだ。
I tried. I didn't ask who you were.
写真ってのは被写体に断ってから撮るのが礼儀なんじゃないんすかね。
Quite rude to photograph someone without consent, one would think.
ごめんごめん。
My bad, my bad.
メインは野鳥の撮影でね。
I mainly photograph wild birds.
断った試しがないんだよ。
They can't refuse, you see? Birds. So, what? You're saying I'm the same as the birds?
いやいや、夕闇に黄昏れる少年があまりにも絵になっていたんでね。
No, well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just picturesque.
本人の許可を取らずにファインダーを覗いたことを謝るよ。
I apologize for trying to take your pictures without asking. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rina would be back soon. But this older guy, Tomatake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
ケイチくん、待たせてごめんね。
Akachi-kun, sorry to keep you waiting.
もう終わりにするから。
I'm finished now. Rina popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
連れがいたのかい？
Do you have someone with you?
お、彼女はあんなところで何をしているんだい？
What would she be doing over there? That's what I wanted to know.
さあね。
Don't know.
昔殺して埋めたバラバラ死体でも確認してるんじゃないですか？
Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out there long ago. Tomatake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh. I responded like I would if I was talking with Rina and the others.
嫌な事件だったね。腕が一本まだ見つかってないんだろ。
It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms.
ケイチくんお待たせ。
Yachi-kun, sorry to keep you...
待ったかなかな。
You were waiting a while, I guess.
馬に蹴られる前に退散するかな。
I'd best leave you two lovebirds alone. Alright, this guy is weird. This guy gives off a weird energy.
驚かせてすまなかったね、ケイチくん。
Again, my apologies for startling you, Ketchikan. It's always the people with the cameras that are the weirdest. Those are the people you have to watch out for. Keep that in mind. Camera people. They say they're just simple photographers, maybe taking pictures of birds, nature, what have you. No, they're creeps, weirdos, strange people. Tomatake-san chortled suggestively. Weird. Then disappeared into the twilight. We are children? Please leave us alone, grown-ass man. Don't, what did it say? Don't chortle suggestively at us. Please. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
ケイチくん怒ってる？
Kachi-kun, are you angry?
どうしてだろう。
Why, I wonder. It wasn't Rina's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now.
どうだった？
How was it?
掘り出し物は見つかったか？
Found a treasure trove?
聞いて聞いて。
Oh, yes. So listen.
あのね。
You see?
あったの。
There was...
ケンタくん人形。
Holy shit, a Colonel Sanders doll? From the world-famous Kentucky Fried Chicken?
ケンタ君人形？
A Colonel Sanders doll? I'm so confused.
お手あれか？ケンタ君フライドチキンの店の前に必ず置いてある。
Oh, you want me to play the line again? I can. Oh, that thing. Those statues they always have out in front of that fried chicken place.
聞いて聞いて。
You wanted that? Or did you want this? Oh.
あの等身大人形の
That life-size dummy?
そう、ケンタくん。
Kentaku. Oh, the next one? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, Colonel Sanders.
はあ、かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
Oh, cute. I want to take it home. I too think Colonel Sanders is quite the adorable little old man. Plus, he wants to give you some secret recipe fried chicken. 11 herbs and spices. I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but well, she seems to want it.
あれはゴミだろ。
It's garbage, right?
お持ち帰りしたきゃしてもいいんだぜ。
No one would care if you just take it home, right?
他の山の下敷きになってるの。
It's become the base of another pile.
簡単には掘り出せないし、
I can't dig it out easily.
あそこ明かりがないからすぐ暗くなっちゃうし。
There's no lamppost over there, so it'll get dark pretty soon. Rina seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back.
俺も手伝ってやるよ。
I'll help you out
今日のうまかった弁当の恩返しってことでさ。
to repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us.
ケイチくんが手伝ってくれる。
Keiichi-kun is going to help.
ケンタくんはお持ち帰りできる。はあ。
Oh, I can take Colonel Sanders home. Oh. Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in a dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state.
なあレナ、
Hey, Rena.
あそこで昔なんかあったのか？
Long ago, did something happen here?
ダムの工事をやってたんだってね。
Seems like they were building a dam here.
詳しく知らないけど。ふう。
I don't know the details though.
例えばさ、工事中になんかあったとか、
Just wondering if you knew about, you know,
事故とか。
an accident or something?
知らない。
I don't know. Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression.
実はね。
Oh, something strange. It's already something strange happening. Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago. Huh?
レナも転校生だったのか？
You transferred here too?
俺はてっきり。
I was sure that.
だからね、それ以前のことはよく知らないの。
So you see, I don't really know much from before that.
ごめんね。
Sorry. Don't really know. Don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Uh-oh. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Tomatake-san said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. Time to interrogate the cicadas. Nice. Maybe it's like passed down from cicada to cicada. Alright. Let's read these tips and then we can call it a night. Alright, take me to the shrine with the Gregorian chanting, please. Sorry I'm really harping on this, but it's just very funny to me. Alright, the Maibara Manor.
ケイちゃんってさ、すごいお金持ちってわけでもないの？
So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich?
なんだよ突然。
What is this
俺
all?
がいつ
Oh,
高級車で登校したよ。
what is this all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo before?
月の小遣いはいくらもらってる？
How much do you get for a monthly allowance?
1000円。
About $10.
結
Dollars.
構小市民的ですのね。
My, that's a rather plebeian amount.
お弁当のおかずも普通ですよ。お金持ちじゃないです。
His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich. What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then told that's a plebeian amount? The disrespect.
ごめんね、ごめんね。
Ah, sorry. Rina seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and start giggling.
ケイちゃんちってさ、すっごく大きいでしょ？だから建築中からひなみ沢中で前原屋敷って呼ばれて注目の的だったんだよ。
Kei-chan, your house, you know, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maibara Manor, and it sort of stands out. Maibara Manor?
あんなに大きいお家だから、どんなお金持ちなのかなってみんなで噂し合ってたの。
Since the house is so big, everybody's gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are. I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
私の推理では、お家を建てるのにお金をかけすぎて貧乏になってしまったと考えてますのよ。
From my deduction, I wager they spent too much money on building the house, and that is why they're now broke.
貧乏でかわいそうかわいそうです。
Being broke. How very, very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar.
ああ、諸君らの楽しい想像をぶち壊すようで悪いが、うち
Yeah.
は金持ちでも貧乏でもないぞ。極めて平均的な普通の家庭だ。
There's something about these little tip things. They advance the text differently than the main thing because there's got to be something that's like the way they roll it out is different than the main story because I keep getting cut off. Something in my head maybe, I don't know. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor. We're the image of a normal average household.
あれだけ大きな家は普通とは言わないって。しかも玄関は立派で、門は大型車も入れるようになってるし。
You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand and the gate is large enough for a large truck to get through.
絶対普通じゃないって。
That's not normal at all. They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people in cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is the one for the studio, and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
ぜひ今度ケイちゃんの家を探検してみたいよな。お金持ちじゃないと主張しながらもあの邸宅。
I'd really like a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that?
一体何が隠されているのか。
What could be hidden there?
かいいものが隠されてるといいな。
Maybe there's something cute hidden.
きっと家具を買うお金もなくなってて、殺風景な部屋がいっぱいなのですわ。
They probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms.
絨毯のお部屋
I
なら
know, she really
ぜ
does.
ひゴロゴロしてみたいですよ。
If there are carpeted rooms, I would love to try rolling around on the floor.
わあ、それいいね、それいいね。レナもゴロゴロしたい。
That'd be great, so great. I want to roll around too. Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, wouldn't be too bad to invite them all into my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. What do you mean Dad is a sucker for the ladies? What? Don't... The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. The Damn Sight Murder Dismemberment, newspaper edition. From the June XX 1979 edition. The Shishibone City Okinomiya Police Station, June XX, late at night. Suspects blank 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 were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, blank, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the XX at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, blank, as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the XX at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filled by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Blank. When questioned, Mr. Redacted, maybe I should say. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. Huh. Go ahead and save in there. Look at that. End of chapter 2. We did work. We did work tonight. It wasn't a super long stream, but I would say a good first starter stream for what will be another long journey of me reading a story. Hopefully a fun time. Hopefully I hope people like this. I hope people like this as much as the Umineko playthrough. I'll have a fun time, it doesn't even matter. So let's see. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm actually really enjoying it. It feels bad because I was talking about like, oh, I'm talking shit about, I was saying like, oh, Umineko has like such an immediate draw to it or whatever. That's just because I'm, like I said, a sucker for like family drama stuff, which this so far has not been family drama stuff. So that's all. Yeah, exactly. I honestly though, I love the little dynamic of this little cutesy friend group, school little friend group. I think it's cute. I like the different characters so far, honestly. They all have a nice dynamic. That's good. I'm sure we've barely touched the iceberg of this game, though. I'm sure it will all start unraveling at some point. I'm wise to it. Let me see. Oh, least liked character? I mean, is it unfair or fair to say Kechi, main character, but the thing is, the problem is especially because we don't see him, like, Battler, we saw, like, and this must just be the way it's presented, and I kind of drew a point to it, but, like, Battler, even though we played from Battler's perspective a lot, we still saw Battler as a sprite, and it was still like we were, like, third person watching the story unfold. But this is a lot more like your standard visual novel where you're playing as a protag, and you're seeing through the eyes of the character. Not only just because of the very simple we're not seeing our main character on the screen a ton, but it just feels a lot more like that. Whereas before, like I said, in Umineko, it feels much more like we're witnessing the story third person wise. This feels a lot more like we've embodied. Unless I'm really mistaken, like, it feels like we're told a lot more, like we're seeing from the perspective of catchy. So, like, whereas even in Umineko, where the stretches where we were technically seeing through the eyes of, like, Battler, it felt a lot more like we were still, like, witnessing the story from a third-person perspective is the best way I can put it. In that case, I'll say it doesn't count. Okay. If it doesn't count, then a creepy photographer guy was weird. He gave off weird vibes, but I'm going to say that that doesn't count as well because we've only saw him for a flash for a bit. I don't know if he's going to come back around. I guess Sakutaro. This game Sakutaro. Satsuko. Probably, but like it's very hard. I mean, they're all great. I mean, Rika, she's adorable. Even Rina and her one-track mind, it's not too obnoxious or anything. Like I said, I love Mion so far. Easily my favorite character. That's just personality-wise. Like I said, I love the whole... She clearly views herself as the elder of the group. Not only because she is, but just how far she, like, kind of, like, watches over the group. I kind of like. So, yeah. Great cast so far. Not really as large as, like, obviously Umineko's from the start. So, I don't know if we're gonna soon at some point get a much larger cast or something, but it's a good time. Good time so far. Like I said, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we won't be doing another Higurashi stream until next Saturday night. Maybe the week after that, maybe we'll do a Tuesday, but we'll just have to see. Tomorrow, Sunday, I would like to get back to doing a day stream for at least a bit. If I can help it, tomorrow would be finishing the last stream of Gravity Rush 2. We'll do the DLC story, which I think is only like a couple hours. And then finally knock that out. And then, like I said, Yakuza, Kiwami. I think I was thinking about it. I don't know if I'm sure I mentioned on stream maybe the last couple days, but I think I'm going to like kind of push to finish the main story so that then the rest of the streams throughout the next week of that is going to be mostly just finishing like post-game stuff, which is like sub-stories and everything, but we'll do it in like a post-game setting. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth starting Thursday. We'll just start in on that. Have I went back to check those cutscenes I mentioned on Nausea? Some, yes. Actually, I found like a good like playlist, and there was like a couple that I had not gotten to. I was doing a lot of like, I've been kind of busy off stream, but I did a lot more of like reading. I dove into like things that like the dev team have gone on to like talk about the game and stuff. I think there's a couple more scenes I still need to watch. I still need to see whatever the fucking, I forget what they call it, is it the crab thing? Crab ending when you like break like the logic of the game or something. I still need to like see that and stuff. So there's a couple. I might even do that now once I'm off stream, since I have some time before I need to pass out anyway. And I'm thinking of it now. But yeah, like I said, thanks so much for hanging out. If you're watching this VODed on YouTube, I hope you also enjoyed this first part. And stick around for the whole series. It's going to be going all year, so pace yourself. Just like I'll be pacing myself. As I mentioned earlier, if you're like, damn, we only have one part of Higurashi, and I want to hear this man's annoying voice drone on and on, you're in luck. Go watch the Umineko playthrough from last year. It's there. All, almost like 90 parts of it or whatever. It might be a good watch. I don't know. I can't really say. I can't rewatch my own shit, but... Alright, until tomorrow.